Okay, here we go, Chewbacca's. Ah, what am I? I'm 4 minutes late. You guys are going to fire me. Oh, man. All right, let's give everybody a minute to get in here. I got my coffee. I'm good to go. All right, as you guys are coming in, drop the predictions. Let's see. Let me turn my phone down. Hey, yo, Nirvana. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for coming out. All right. Well, I absolutely expect the Coliseum to be. It is going to be sold out in there tonight. That I want it to be so annoying for Kutma. I want it to be so loud in that building tonight that it's so annoying that the NHL starts thinking about how they can reduce fan noise. That's how loud I want it to be tonight. Bennett, hey buddy, how you doing? Thanks for coming out. All Islanders tonight, yeah. So what is the Cookie Monster at Pottermore.net? Tell me about that. Yeah, I'm picking 4-2 Isles tonight. I do not think Tampa Bay is going to steal a win. I do not think that they're going to steal a win in New York. I think this series is going to go back to Tampa. But that, I guess that would be what, 3-1 Islanders? Isles in 5. Oh, come on. Oh, sorry. For a second there, I was thinking Tampa Bay. Isles in 5, Isles in 6. They're going to win. The Islanders are going to win all the home games. So we'll go back to Tampa for Game 5, and Tampa will prolong things a little bit more. And then, Game 6 in New York. Adios, Tampa Bay. The Islanders, man, and especially, I know I've been picking Vegas. But after what I saw last night with Montreal and what I've seen so far, I legit think, if it's Islanders Vegas, I think the Islanders could win that series, which would really suck for Vegas fans because that would be Trotz beating them twice, but with different teams. Oh Jesus. I think if the Isles win this series, I think they could win the Cup. I honestly think that they could. Now, I think if it's Tampa Bay, Vegas, and what other combinations could we have? Montreal and Tampa Bay. That'd be. I don't want that series. I don't want that series. No, I'm not interested in that series because at that point I would be rooting probably for Montreal, and I think I'd be getting disappointed. The one I really want to see, though, honestly, is Islanders and Montreal. Even though I'm rooting for Vegas, an Islanders Montreal series would be, you want to talk about overtime games. They may as well just start off. Montreal Bay would be the series of seasonings. That's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good play on there, Bennett. I did not think about that. But no, I'm stuck. I want Vegas to win, but a Montreal Islanders series would be 7 games. Every game would go to triple overtime, and every game would be 1-0. Bud the Monkey, how you doing, buddy? Hey, was it you yesterday that I was 4 minutes late too? Was it you yesterday that said 2-0 Montreal, and you did you get? Oh yeah, you had said 3-2. Okay. Somebody had said 2-0, and then I wanted to bet them, and for a while it was 2-0. But you got the score right. All right, buddy. We'll when I'm making some money, like when I'm monetized and I'm able to do super chats and everything, when I do these, Like, I'm going to be doing live streams before every Panther game next season. And when I got a couple of bucks, what we'll do is we'll devise some kind of contest for the live stream people that come on, and we'll have like prizes for like people getting the scores right and stuff like that. I'll work on that over the season, over the summer. But I got to get monetized. I need a couple bucks. But man, once my bankruptcy is done and over with, you guys will hear a different tune, because then mentally I can focus on everything. You think all right, so you got 3-1 Islanders and the Lightning get an early goal. I'm good with that. That building is going to be crazy. Matthias, guys, hey Matthias, how you doing, buddy? Matthias is in the chat. Matthias is here during the live stream. This is sweet. Wow, that's awesome, buddy. You're good? All right, kiddo. Hey, Matthias, the other day everybody was talking about your Magic with Matthias videos. I told them eventually you'd do another one. That's awesome. And he's not here either. He's not here at the house. He's at his mom's house right now. Bud the Monkey, will we go? You know, I asked that in the preview on the pregame today. We've had four games against teams that are so evenly matched. And I really thought last night, I had Matthias all queued up. I had him all queued up with the "We are going to overtime." And I really thought Vegas was going to tie that game, boy. And then they didn't. We need overtime. So tonight, let's do it. Let's do it. No, not tonight, because we picked 4-2 Islanders. How about Game 6? How about Game 6 when the Islanders win the series overtime at the Coliseum? Beautiful. Matthias, yeah, man. Get your magic tricks together, Matthias, and then maybe when you're at my house for your birthday, right? That gives you time to get your magic tricks together, and we'll do another video. Everybody wants to see one of those, bud. Every time we go to overtime, everybody's ready to see it. All right, so anybody picking Tampa Bay? Do we have anybody here picking Tampa Bay? Because I want to make a couple of bucks, so I want to play some bet with you. All right? Tonight, one thing I will say is I expect Tampa Bay to come out and be not just pissy, but you guys watch the Panthers series, all right? Obviously. I absolutely expect Tampa Bay to come out and try to push the edge and push the envelope and get the Islanders to get some stupid penalties, because they're not winning 5-on-5. They're not going to win the series 5-on-5. They need to get on the power play. So I expect Tampa Bay to employ their not quite dirty, but not quite, that just over the edge type of play. All right, let's see. Matthias, yeah, I know you. I remember you doing the "We Are Going to Overtime." I know it, buddy. All right, thoughts on the Zito nomination? Zito not only should win this year, but he's going to win again next year when he finds a way to get Columbus to take Bob back and Yandel for Lane. Yeah. yeah, right? No, look, Zito's a no-brainer, all right? Zito, absolutely. They shouldn't even have to vote. They shouldn't even have to vote, okay? Now, the thing with Q, Bennett, thoughts on Vasi and Hedman winning the I can never say it, Vezina and North. Hey, Hot Take Cocky, how you doing, buddy? How you doing, bud? I appreciate you coming out, man. Bennett, you have to forgive me because I haven't been on anything all day today. Did they announce it already today that they won, or are you saying that I think that they will win? I know that they're going to announce the GM on the 21st, But I haven't been on any social media today. I haven't seen anything. So if you're saying that they won, that'd be interesting. Bob didn't win, man. Hot take, man. Are you doing? You're live streaming every game, aren't you? How do you like conserve your voice? I'm going to be live streaming the expansion draft, and so that's going to be the longest one that I've ever done. So that's going to be interesting. I got to do a bunch of research on that. Yeah, what do I think about the Panthers going after Lane? I tell you what, the fan base, everybody is complaining about, well, if we get them, defensively, right? But to me, here, I think as a package, and what I mean is that if we can sign Huberdeau long-term, wrap up Bennett, Barkov agrees to stay, and then we get Lane, then yeah, I'm all for it. If we start talking about it's going to cost us a Bennett or a Huberdeau, then it's like 6 of one, half dozen of another. So if we could find a way to make it work with all four guys, I'm all for it. But otherwise, he's a nice player. Obviously, you want him on your team, and he would do really, really well with Barkov. But if it costs us Huberdeau or Bennett because we can't pay everybody, or that's my take, is that it's a group. Now, if you do manage to sign all of those guys, then all we need is goaltending to be appropriate, and we got to fix the bottom pair on defense, because as long as we're flip-flopping between Strawman and Yandel, you see it in these playoffs. Strawman and Yandel, we're not winning rounds with Strawman and Yandel. It's just not going to happen. Yeah, but Panthers Twitter is really, really divided on that. I know. Look, I mean, the biggest thing there is people are concerned about the defense. But look, when you're playing on Barkov's line, it's hard to actually have a defensive weakness in the context of that line, because he does everything so well. It's almost like the other guys can go ahead and take their chances and everything. So I'm not too concerned with him. I just want to make sure that it doesn't cost us anybody else. That's the biggest thing there. Frank, thanks for coming out, buddy. Yeah, but guys, the guys that are just coming up, if you see Matthias is at his mom's house. He's actually in the chat with us. Yeah, man, it's really cool that he did that. That's really cool. Frank, we can't get Lane without paying a heavy price and trading Barkov for Huey. I don't know, man. I mean, there's no way we're going to trade either one of those guys. So, to me, picks. I mean, I'd be happy to send them Bob back. I'm sure they miss him. Maybe Bob can get his old house back. Let's go. Let's do it. Right? Yeah. No. Obviously, Barkov and Huberdeau are not touchable that way. The only way that it would work, that's acceptable, is if Huberdeau was saying, "Look, I'm not going to re-sign. I want to go somewhere else." But he's not going to want to go to Columbus either. So I don't see that happening. I think you'd be looking at picks and Tippett. God help us if they asked for Lundell. You know what I mean? I don't want any part of that. And again, it all determines, it all comes down to the expansion draft and who we lose. Because if we just lose Drieger, then we know the holes. But if we lose, like I've been talking about, we lose like a Vetrano or Achari or Forsling, then we got a big hole on defense, and we already got holes on defense. All right, guys, let's see. Yeah, but you'd also be fine with getting Foligno. Yeah. That he would definitely work. He definitely works. 100%. I agree with that. Columbus is imploding. Yeah. Well, that happens, man. But the good thing about teams like that is, with a team like Columbus, they'll rebound quick. They will. They'll get it together. Hot take. Yeah, I agree with you. Look, I mean, if Columbus was going to ask for that, that'd be stupid, right? Because they know. But my thing with the whole deal is, I would have thought that Columbus would have wanted, if they're going to trade him out of conference. That's the only thing that surprises me, is that I would be surprised to see them trade him to an Eastern Conference team, unless the compensation is so ridiculous. You know, we've got. I agree with you there with Hippo or Dianasenko, and and a roster player and a pick. Sure, no problem with that. But I think, like I said, to do that, we got to have all the T's crossed first, right? Because it's a package deal. If you get him and then lose Bennett and Huberdeau go together, man. We got to keep those guys together. Let's see. Matthias, how happy am I that you were in the chat? I am super excited, buddy. I am really happy that you came out. It was totally unexpected and made my day. Gave me a big smile. All right. Would I trade Ekblad? He might not be the same. Yeah, no. I'll have to. I mean, you're not wrong in terms of he may not be the same player. It may take him a year to come back. I talked about that yesterday. Not a year, but a few extra months. I have a sneaking suspicion he may put on a couple of pounds to get stronger. But no, I don't see. Certainly, the fan base would absolutely burn the place down if we traded an Ekblad. Let's go Bolts. Deadpool, finally, somebody that's pro. I'm going to assume, Deadpool, that you're picking Tampa Bay tonight. You want to lose some money? Because I need some money. Come on, man. You want to lose some money? Let's go. Yeah. Oh, hold on a second. All right, I see Matthias is talking with people. That's cool. Let's go Islanders. I like that, huh? Yeah. BS penalty last game against Point. I got you. Look, both teams benefited from blown calls, right? So I'm just happy that both teams got it, because if Tampa Bay loses because of that call, he got pushed. The dude got pushed, no doubt there. But there were clearly 6 men on the ice when Tampa scored. So it all evened out. You know what I mean? It all evened out to me. All right, let's see here. I don't want to miss too many things here. Yeah, hot take. Dianasenko, Vetrano, and a first or something like that. Yeah. Well, boy, that's a price. It is a price, but it would be worth it, especially the thing about that is we'd have to do that before the expansion draft, I think. It depends on who we have to expose, because Vetrano's right on that list. He's right on that cusp of people of who we may or may not have to expose, unless we can just, make a deal somehow with Seattle to guarantee that they're going to take Drieger. The Panthers have been there before. So if you're giving Columbus, Dianasenko, Vetrano, and a first, that doesn't really, we're not going to, in a couple of years, we're not going to be crying that Vetrano is leading them to a cup. You know what I mean? That would be a pretty fair deal. That would be a pretty fair deal. You always hate to give up a first, but again, in the context of if we can keep everybody else, if we can keep Barkov, Huberdeau, and Bennett, then absolutely, I would go for that. Tampa 5-2. Now, come on, man. Now, I know you're a Tampa Bay guy, all right? That's cool. I can understand it. But do you really think the Islanders are going to give up 5 tonight in their first game at home in these semis? Come on, man. All right? So here's the deal. Let's make a bet. 10 grand. All right? If Tampa wins 5-2, you give me 10 grand. And if they don't, then we're even. Let's see if we figure that one out. You got Islanders in 7, yeah. I would prefer Islanders in 6. I want to see them win it at the Coliseum, but now you're getting picky, right? You're getting picky with that. Let's see. Hold on a second. 2 lines, Lonnie Barkov for Hagee, and then Huberdeau, Bennett, Tippett. Yeah, absolutely, man. Hot take. That would make up for some of our defensive liabilities. Let's just put it that way. Absolutely. That would just be stoked. Got to make it happen. Absolutely got to make it happen. And, cap-wise, somehow, some way to do that, we have to move. We gotta find a way to get out of Yandle. You know what I mean? And then we all know the situation with Bob. But if we're gonna pay $10 million for a backup, eventually we'll have to move him. But in terms of the next couple of years, especially if Knight really continues to develop and come into his own, I'd love to see that. I'd absolutely love to see that. And anybody looking at that top 6 and worried about Lana as a defensive liability, just don't worry about it, man. Just go get goals, because him together with Barkov, and we already saw what Verhaeghe did, and that was with really Verhaeghe had that kind of year with Mason Marchment, and then Duclair was up on that top line, but he wasn't scoring. If Duclair was scoring, Barkov and Verhaeghe would have had another 20 assists, basically. You know what I mean? And, at least another 15, right? If Duclair had been scoring with all those chances he got. All right, let's see here. Papa Grande, you're hoping the Lightning win, huh? All right. Well, that's fair. That's fair. Islanders going to win this game, though. Islanders got this one. All right, Deadpool, let's see. Point, Stamkos, Hedman, Cirelli, and Coleman scored tonight. Dude, all right. All right, you're sure they're going to get 5. What are 2 of those empty net goals? 2 of those are empty net goals, right? It's 3-2, and then they pull Varlam off. Okay, all right. There's no way the Islanders are giving up 5 at home tonight. Let's see. Papa Grande, Vetrano will be easy. Easy let go. Just sign Gusev if we lose Frank. I don't know. Let me think about that for a second. Gusev, I wonder what was going on behind the scenes with him, because he came on and it looked like he was going to fit with Barkov, and then it kind of faded away. And then Q didn't really give him too much of an opportunity, much anywhere else. So I just wonder if there's and I'm not suggesting this, but I'm just wondering if there's maybe a work ethic thing there with Gusev, or something that Q didn't like, because he seemed to, they brought him in and Q kind of showed him the bench pretty fast, and he didn't see any ice time in the playoffs, and that. Even the one game where Bennett was suspended, we went with 7D instead of putting Gusev in. So to me, that tells me that Q's not a fan. That's my take there. Oh, by the way, Papa Grande, do not go under and tell people Vetrano will be an easy let go. Don't do it, man. Not unless you want a long night. Let's see. Rosado, what would I do if Drigo goes to Seattle? You mean doesn't or does? Yeah, no, he's that's the most likely pick, right? The thing we have to do is kind of secure that if they're going to take him, to make sure that that's what's going to happen, And like we've talked about, I lost my train of thought. Shit. I want to have discuss with Yandle and Bob about if they can waive the no move clause just for the purposes of the expansion draft, because Seattle's not going to take them. That would save us players. But I'm just wondering if that's legal. All right, let's see. Papa Grande, hot take, hockey's Leafs fan. Yeah, man, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. The dude works hard, that's for sure. And he came on. One of the earlier live streams and netted me 60 subscribers because he had a raid. He had everybody from his channel come over here to the live chat, to the live stream, and that was a huge reason why. I mean, I've got 1,050 subscribers, so literally the 60 that he came on that day, that put me over the edge. So yeah, man, he's welcome here all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Got to try to lose Yandel or Strowman. Yeah, I think it's all dominoes. I've been talking about that. So if we can find a way to even lose Strowman or Yandel, and even if we have to eat half the salary, that buys us enough space to where we could buy out Strowman, and then we have it kind of sucks for 1 year, but then in the following years, then we'd be good to go. The thing with Yandel, to me, and I know that he's not going to do it. I would like to see Yandel retire. I think he stayed on too long because of the street. But I know as fans we give him a bunch of crap, right, about all the mistakes and everything. But this year, his physical ability, his speed, his agility, and turning around and everything really, really, really went downhill. There was a huge difference this year. And in the years past, it's just he would make mistakes and get beat and stuff like that. But this year, he did not look, especially at the end of the season, he doesn't look like he physically belongs on the ice. Certainly not as a every night player. So that streak is I think it's confusing thing a bit where at this point in his career he should be like a $3 million guy that's like the seventh man on D that comes off the bench and can give you some minutes, but he really deteriorated this last season. So I don't think anybody's going to want him. I think anybody watches the film of him getting just toasted, for being just so slow at this point, I don't think anybody's going to take him. I don't know what the hell we're going to do with him. All right, let's see. Papa Grande. No, I know he's got a no move clause, but draft when they know they're not going to get taken. Seattle's not taking Bob at $10 million. They're not taking Yandel. But if we can expose them, then that's another player or two that we can protect. You see what I'm saying? You think Bob also has some dignity? Yeah, I hear what you're saying. What would I do if Bill Zito and Driegs leaves? We're set, right? You got what really should be Knight as the starter and Bob as the backup, or they're splitting 50-50. I'm sure the way they're going to couch that as, it's going to be a camp battle. But we're overloaded at goalie anyway, right? Because even if we lose Drieger, we've still got Monty. And we've got that other kid. I always forget his name, but we've got another kid in the pipeline that looks like he could be pretty good. So I don't think there's any moves there goalie-wise that we need to worry about at all. I think, Knight and Bob will go into the training camp in a battle. I think Knight will take it, and we'll have a $10 million backup until either Knight, if something happens to him or if he doesn't develop as quickly, or if at some point Bob says, I want to play, I'm sick of this, and waives his no move clause, and then we'll have to eat some salary there. We'll have to eat some salary there for sure. All right, let's see, Deadpool. All right, what do we got? Two first and a second, and Yandel first and second. Now, do they take all his salary? Do they take all his salary? If we don't have to eat any salary, worst comes a Knight in Montalvo. Oh, I see what you're saying. If something happened to Bob, or if we got rid of Bob, yeah, no. If somehow we lost Drieger and then we got rid of Bob, I'm sure that we would be signing a high quality veteran backup. I'm sure that we would do that. Knight played great, right? But there's still only 6 games, okay? And he could easily just continue at that pace and turn into the next Vasilevsky, and I'd love to see that. But you got to have a veteran guy in there that can pick up the slack if Knight, just goes through a slump and he needs 3 or 4 games to just kind of chill. And Monty's not that guy. Monty he's not. I would not want him to be the backup because you need somebody that's going to settle things down, and that's not Monty. That's not. I love the kid, and I hope he continues to develop. But at this stage in his career, I don't feel comfortable with him being the backup on a playoff team. We'd have to have a good veteran. Heck, we'll go get James Reimer. Don't laugh. Reimer backing up Knight. It could happen. Reimer's a free agent. We're talking, if Bob is gone too, but that would be funny. It would be funny. A lot of people would not have to buy a new jersey. All right, let's see. Monty is a UFA this offseason. Is he really? Well, I don't see any reason why we wouldn't want to re-sign him. I didn't realize that. Well, yeah, no. Look, I mean, we're set with Knight and Bob. If we're dealing with a situation where Drieger is gone, my assumption would be that under some miracle scenario where we were trading Bob somewhere, they would have a leftover goalie that maybe we'd get back in return, But I don't think that's going to happen this year. My opinion, even though I'd like to see something different happen, my opinion is that we're going to let Knight take the reins this year, even if it's not, said right before the season that he's the unquestioned starter. I think you're looking at Knight getting at least probably, 45, 50 games. Let Bob do his thing. Come playoff time, it's Knight's job unless, Bob is tearing it up. But I think for purposes this year, the focus is going to be, on Yan and Strawman. You keep Bob this season. And then next year, if Knight has, played his 45, 50 games, maybe gets us a playoff round win and is showing that he's going to completely be the real deal, then at that point, maybe you start having a discussion with Bob and say, hey, look, we're going to give Knight 60 games. Do you want to sit? Do you want to play? We knew this problem was going to happen. I mean, when we did it all at once, basically. We drafted Knight and we signed Bob and we created this mess, and it should have never been that length of a contract. And then $10 million is one thing, but the length of the deal is just ridiculous. Look at what the Islanders did with Varlamov. It's freaking half, right? And they have no issues now. You know what I mean? They got, what's his name? Sorokin, right? So if Varlamov goes, there's no controversy, there's no problem, it's easy peasy. They did it the right way. And Talon did not. And he's gone. And we are still fixing his damn mess. Still fixing his mess. All right. So I see the word Matheson in here. Hold on a second. If we lose Bob and get Tuukka, if he gets you, it's funny. I thought about that when I was talking about it, but I didn't want to say anything. Let's see what that injury is. You know what I mean? Let's see if he has surgery and everything like that. I wouldn't. Hold on a second, guys. I'm hearing so. I gotta walk away for a second. I'm hearing something wrong in the other room with the dog. I'll be right back. What's going on? I'm not your dummy. You big dummy. All right, come here. Okay. All right, I'm back. He was at the bottom of the stairs. Good boy. All right, good boy. He came in from outside, and sometimes when he comes in from outside and it's light, and he goes into the stairs and it's dark, he can't see all that well because of the light change. So he stands there and whines and barks until somebody comes and escorts him up the stairs. All right. No, Matheson, I don't want any more migraine, right? All right, let's see. Am I going to do any reaction to the highlights like last season? Did I do? Oh, I know what you're saying. The rewind games. Yeah. Well, so I've added the live streams, which obviously do that. I might. I thought about doing that again this year, but with my schedule kind of got a little funky because with the pandemic, my schedule changed a lot because what I'm doing for money changed. I used to be up super early in the morning, and now I'm not. Now I'm up like really, really late. I definitely have considered doing that again. The issue for me right now with that is that all those videos get copyright claimed, right? So right now I'm focusing on trying to get stuff that's going to be able to get me monetized. Now I thought about doing those on the Patreon, but I'm talking with them, and apparently I can't put it on the Patreon because then I would be making money on copyrighted videos. So there's so many stupid rules, but I thought about it. I'm still considering it, but what's happened right now is that I have to do my eBay work when I get up. You know what I mean? I have to do my eBay work in the morning, which is when I was doing those. So if I do anything like that, it'll be next season. But remember, I'm adding in football as well. So it just all depends. Like I've said, my goal is to make this my main gig. So when I get to the point, the more when I get to the point where I've got enough Patreons and I'm making revenue with the ads and everything like that, as soon as I can make this my only gig, then that's all I have to do. And then that makes it so that there's a lot more content that I can make because I won't have to do anything else. But that takes time. You know what I mean? Believe me, I want to do all these things, but we'll get there. I'll get there. You're talking about Tuca again. Yeah, I mean, as long as he's healthy, and can come in and can contribute, and not, but he would be a fun addition. I wouldn't say he'd kind of be like Yager, because Yager was a lot of fun, but Tuca's a fun guy, so I wouldn't be against that at all. What kind of money are we talking about, right? But that's an interesting thought. I thought about it, like I said, when I was talking about it, and anything could happen. That would be interesting to see for sure. All right, it'd be cool if we could just trade Bob's 5-hole. Oh, jeez. Let's all be realistic. What do I think Zito will do? All right. Papa, I see your next comment there. I trust me. I agree. I have learned before I get to the Zito comment. I've learned, brother, what it takes, right? I stopped and I started, and for a long time, the first few years, I thought, what, I can do this. It's the Florida Panthers channel. I thought I could make it, quote unquote, just doing Panther videos. Well, I learned that, and I really learned just how much work this is going to be, which I want to do. I definitely want to do it. The thing, and I'm not bitching and whining and complaining. The thing that slows me down a little bit is like today, with the Lyme disease, right? I had to take a nap. I didn't get one yesterday, and I knew if I didn't get one in today and tomorrow, I was going to be freaking useless. So I lose time in the afternoons when I would honestly rather just be grinding it out and doing videos. But what happens is sometimes I do that, and then the next thing you know, for like all weekend, I'm toast and I'm trash and I can't do anything. So that's really the hardest thing for me is learning to inside I want to gut it out, I want to grind it out, but I have to monitor myself and make sure I don't overdo it, because then I end up not being able to do anything at all for a day or two. All right, let's see. Matthias, I see you. I started watching the videos again. I appreciate that, kiddo. For a while, he didn't want to watch the videos, but that's okay. We all, what I mean? Everybody does that. That's cool. All right, what do I think Zito will do this offseason? All right. The realistic thing, I think if he's focusing on anything, as soon as the expansion draft is over and we know what holes are created, I honestly feel like the main focus he's going to have two separate focuses or three. Number one, we got to get somebody for Barkov. That has to happen, right? Number two, we need one more defenseman, all right? Because Ekblad comes back. You got Ekblad, Weegar, Forsling, Gudis, and then a mess. A mess. We need one more. We cannot be having it be, and I know I'm leaving somebody out there on that bottom six. I know I'm leaving out one good defenseman. I know we re-signed Connaughton, which really he should be 7D, but we cannot have the flip-flop between Yandel and Strawman be our gig. It's just not possible. So a partner for Barkov. The extensions we can talk about that maybe during the season. A partner for Barkov, shoring up the whole Yandel Strawman situation, and at the same time getting that one extra D-man. Nunavara. Yeah, thank you, Papa Grande. Yeah, so all right, so let's talk about that. Let's talk. You got Ekblad, Weegar, Gudis, Forsling, which remember, Forsling with the expansion draft, that's a big issue we have there. And then Nunavara would maybe Montour on the bottom pair. I'm not completely uncomfortable with that, but boy, that's where the $7 million from Yandel is kicking us in the butt. Because imagine what we could do with that if we could get a real defenseman worth that. Okay, and then you're talking about Nunavara being 7D, right? So, and I like Montour, but he's a puck-moving defenseman, so it's not really the kind of style you want on your bottom pair, right? So, I mean, maybe you could put Gudis on the bottom pair with somebody else, but I think we're short a guy. We're short one veteran, responsible, dependable defenseman. I think that's got to be a focus and a partner for Barkov, an appropriate partner. Everybody can talk about how Mason Marchment played his role and did well and everything like that, but Barkov is not going to stick around, and he sure as hell is not going to give us any kind of hometown discount if he's playing with Mason Marchment, because now his pocketbook is being affected by the fact that, I mean, how many assists, like I talked about, if Barkov had a true 20-goal scorer on that top line, how many more points a year is Barkov? He'd be looking at 100 points a season. You see what I'm saying? So that's got to be the main focus. I don't, and then the only other thing is with the expansion draft, what hole do we need to plug? If we lose Drieger, that's what we expect. If we lose Forsling, Stu and Boca is very, very concerned that that's going to be it, right? So that we're going to lose Forsling. And if we do, now we got a hole in the top four. And Montour and Nunavara are not the answer there. I know the inclination might be to put Montour up there, but Forsling really played well until the playoffs, and I want to keep him. I want to keep him. All right, what do we got here? Okay, we still got a good amount of time. All right, let's see. If we can get Montour for cheap, would I re-sign? I don't know, man. I mean, again, I hate to keep beating the same bush. I think what happens in the expansion draft. If we keep Forsling, Montour is redundant, sort of. I mean, if we're going to get him for cheap, yeah, but you don't really want to put him on your bottom pair, right? I mean, maybe a Gudis Montour bottom pair works, but he's got to come cheap. Can't stand both teams. You hope the Western team gets it done in the final. Rice Curry, nice to see you. That's a new name to the channel. I appreciate it. Can't stand both teams. Well, I can hear that. Look, I'm a hockey fan when it comes to this time of year, right? Now I'm rooting for the Islanders. I'm rooting for Vegas. Even though I'm rooting for Vegas, like I spoke about earlier, I would really love to see a Montreal Islanders series. And that would just be brutal. Oh, that would just be, there'd be no goals. It'd be 7. They would just have to stop playing. They would get to like the 8th overtime, and it would still be 0-0. And they would just like to have to say, can we just pick up the game tomorrow or the next day? Because it would just be a beautiful defensive disaster, which I know a lot of people would think would be boring. But, man, that would just be a beautiful, beautiful series. All right, let's see. Boy, my eyes are not doing good tonight. Let's see. Barkov, are you talking about, yeah, but Papa Granted, the problem with Laine is that he never plays defense. I hear what you're saying here, but Bud the Monkey is incorrect. Is correct in my opinion. Barkov evens that out. I really do believe that. You look at when he played with Yager. Okay, Yager was when by the time the puck would be in, by the time the other team had it in our zone, Yager was just hugging and puffing and chugging and trying to get past center ice to get back on the play. He'd always show up late, and it didn't really hurt us all that much. So if the price is right, and we're going to get to keep all 4, the 4 big, that would be 4 at that point: Huberdeau, Bennett, Laine, and Barkov. If you can find a way to get those guys and lock them up for 3, 4, 5 years, depending on who we're talking about, you'd have to do it. Laine is not going to hurt us defensively to the point where we would regret making that move. It would just be ridiculous. Barkov, and honestly, it would allow Barkov to focus a little bit more on his defensive game, which is really what his strength is, and take a little bit of that pressure off him that he has to score, because he's just not. I mean, he obviously scores, but he's not a guy that's just going to rip it all the time. It's not his inclination. So I think it would take a lot of pressure off, and it would improve Barkov's defense. And that's my take. Matthias' favorite player is Jonathan Huberdeau. Hey, buddy. I'm glad you're sticking around for the whole thing. That's great, buddy. Papa Grande, you're saying if you watch Laine, it's like playing 5-on-4, but it is better than what we have now. Right. Look, considering what's out there and considering that that's where the hole on this team is. Like if we wanted to just focus on a defensive forward for that line, we just leave Mason Marchman up there. You know what I mean? I really, and I know everybody's got mixed opinions. It's not like I'm going to cry if we don't get them, but if we do, that's going to change. That's going to take the offensive pressure off of Barkov, which I know how it sounds, right? It seems odd that you would want to do that, but I think it would just make Barkov better. I think it would do for him what Bennett did for Huberdeau, right? If you look at Bennett in a bubble, he's got strengths and weaknesses there, but together with Huberdeau, it would just be incredible. To have both of those pairs would be incredible. All right, let's see. Kutma. If I think the overpassing is bad now, I'll wait to lie with Huberdeau. Passing for 148 of the power play. All right, that's legit. That's legit. I hear what you're saying. God, the overpassing killed us. We'll see. That's going to be one of those things where, remember, myself included, everybody was bitching about Bennett, saying 2. We gave up 2 twos, and now it's like, dude, that was totally worth it. So it's going to be interesting, man. I have no problem if we get him, but I know Flingo is out there too, and that's a name that I wouldn't mind that either, obviously. Yeah, if things keep going like this, you just call us the Florida Jackets, right? Hey, Matthias, yeah, you remember when we did the Sharknado cake? Yeah, that was fun. That was fun, and then they stopped making the Sharknado videos. I'm gonna go to the. You guys go to the channel. I don't have time to get to the link now. I don't want to do that. But yeah, if you guys watch the movies, the old Sharknado movies, we made a couple of Sharknado videos when they came out with the last one. That was a lot of fun. Bud the Monkey, you think we should hire a new special teams coach? Well, the question I would have there is it coaching? I mean, like, I'm pretty sure the coach, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but my assumption would be that the coach is telling these guys, shoot the puck, stop overpassing. I mean, we've had how many different coaches, how many different guys with Huberdeau and Barkov, and it's the same exact thing. I think those players are who they are, and I think the best thing that we can do right now is like we did with Bennett and Huberdeau. We got a guy in Bennett that everything Huberdeau doesn't do, Bennett does it. Okay? And I think if we can get somebody like that for Barkov, rather than trying to turn them into what they're not, take their strengths and find players that will fit with them. I think that's the best thing we can do. They are who they are at this point. All right, let's see. We got a couple minutes left here. Boy, my eyes are really bad right now for some reason. How can I send you a PDF of the player salary tax situation? Expect it in a day or so. All right, Cam, I appreciate that. I'm going to give you my email right here. Typing it into the chat. I got to put my glasses on. That's it. Old man coming out. Hey, look, I can see now. Just Real Coaching. Just Real Coaching at gmail.com. All right. Cam, I just posted my email address there. You guys don't send me any, like, don't I don't want any. Don't abuse it. It's okay. Anybody wants to get a hold of me, that's the email address, justrealcoaching at gmail.com. All right, let's see what else we got. Ryan, thanks for coming out. That's a new name for the channel. Appreciate it. Let's go Bolts. Do I think Florida signs Hyman? I'll say the same thing that I've said with everything right now, and that is until we know what happens with the expansion draft, there's really no way to know, because we could lose Drieger, which we're expecting. We could lose Forsling, which, then we need a defenseman. We need two defensemen at that point. And we could lose Achari, which now we need help for Toronto. Toronto's the one that we could lose and not and have the least effect. So it's possible. Q lost the head coach award. So Brenda Moore won it. Are they announcing all that today? Like I said, I haven't been on social media all day. I feel stupid not knowing. Yeah. Brenda Moore finished with Carolina first. Brenda Moore head-to-head against Q absolutely schooled him almost every game. Q was completely outcoached. Brenda Moore is clearly, if you look at the rosters and what they did, and if you look at how they describe the awards, the coach that had the most effect on that team, it by far Brenda Moore. Okay, all Q did was take a team that should really make the playoffs and made the playoffs and lost around. Q did not do anything with this team that the roster doesn't indicate could happen. With Carolina, that roster doesn't really look like a first place roster on paper. That team was coached to first place. And so congrats to him if that's what happened. All right. Cam, I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I appreciate everybody showing up. What do we got? Is that 7:50? My eyes got really bad here a minute ago. And my charger's not plugged in, too. That's what happened. Hold on a second. Now the charger's plugged in and the screen is brighter. The screen must have gone to, like, energy-saving mode. I was wondering, like, all of a sudden why I couldn't see anything. I mean, I'm old, but I'm not that old yet. All right, so, yeah, I'll have to go check out because you guys are telling me some of these awards. So I'll have to check that out. Look for a video on that tomorrow if the awards are coming out now. Papa Grande, you would disagree. On paper, they were a much better team. Well, look, I mean, to each their own, right? I mean, we could have that discussion. That's a reasonable discussion. I just think, let me put it this way. Let me put it a little bit of a different way, because on paper you can argue one way or another. I think we both have points. I think Brindamore in game situations, I think he got more out of his team than Q did. Q has one move, which is change the lines. Oh, that didn't work. Change them again. That didn't work. Change them again. Oh, look, I'm a genius. It's beautiful. Look, it worked. He's got one move, right? But Brindamore consistently found ways to beat us in different ways each time we played us. So that's it, man. Hey, Stu, you're the last. You're the last one in and the first one out. That's okay, but I appreciate it. Everybody tells Stu that we say hi to his mom and hope she feels better. She's a huge hockey fan, and the thing of it is that she's got to deal with Boca Stu as her son. So that, I think that was what put her in the hospital. And is that about right? No, Stu is a great guy. I love this guy. You guys are great. All right. Coach Q will win it next year. Bill Zito just needs a strong offseason. Yep. All right, guys. I got to get this. I got to move this situation into the other room so I can watch the game. I appreciate everybody showing up as usual. The recap will be up about 45 minutes after the game. And then tomorrow I'll do a video on some of these awards you guys are telling me they're coming out now. I haven't paid attention all like that. Last thing for anybody that is still here. Bye, Matthias, I love you. I'll see you later. For anybody that's still here, man, if you guys see that I come out with a Dolphins video, the Dolphins videos I do, they're not getting a whole lot of views. So if you guys can help me out and just share those from YouTube so it can start showing the algorithm that's going to be something I'm doing. Because like the one I did on Xavier Howard only got like 56 views because I don't have a real big Dolphin following. And I know that's going to come as I'm doing more. But if you guys could help out just with sharing them, that would tell the algorithm to show it to more people. It'd be a big help. All right, guys, I appreciate it. Go Isles, go 4-2.